gorgeous, welcome back to another Sims for speed building video. I hope you're all doing well. So today I'm building in the world of Tortosa, as you can probably see, which means that I bought the new expansion pack, or game pack, apologies, My Wedding Stories. And I have nothing to say for myself. If you don't know, this pack has been quite a controversial one. So the first issue was that this pack was banned from release in Russia. Then in the end, EA decided to release this back in Russia, and then we started seeing the early access content for this pack, which was not very promising. Basically, there were a lot of glitches, and the wedding aspect of this pack has been completely broken, and all the game changers, or the people with the EA Creator Network, I think we should call them, they all stressed that this was not the final software and that there was going to be another patch upon the release date which should fix all the issues. So then the pack was released a couple of days ago now, and surprise, surprise, the patch did not fix any of the issues. The gameplay is still very much broken, so I cannot justify recommending this pack to you guys. I personally decided to buy it because I am a very impatient person and I just really wanted to build in the world of Tortosa. Also, I would like to say that I am a builder first and foremost. I do enjoy doing gameplay, but I prefer building, so I wasn't too worried about the gameplay aspect. So I bought this pack solely for the world and the build and buy items, which I have to say, I also wouldn't recommend this pack for the build and buy items. I think at this point, the only selling point for this pack is the world. The build and buy items, I mean, I guess they're okay, but there's not a whole lot. So the idea is that this game pack is definitely very heavily focused on gameplay and gas items, which, gas is pretty cool and all, but I just get bored really easily playing in gas and creating sims and whatnot. I just want to get straight into building, straight into gameplay, and the build and buy items, even though there's some nice stuff, it's very heavily wedding themed, which makes sense, it's a wedding pack. But still, I would have liked to see just a little bit more. So I was pretty excited for the stained glass windows. And I mean, they're okay. They're pretty nice. And that's just, I say that because we barely have any stained glass windows in this pack already. The stained glass windows that we do have, I think there's like a few that came with the Get Together expansion pack. So I just really wanted to have some more. But all the stained glass windows in the new pack, they're very, very bright, happy, pastel-y colors. Whereas when I'm thinking of stained glass windows, I think of the stained glass windows that you might find in a European church. And, they're much more intricate details on the stained glass, and darker, richer colors as well. So all the stained glass windows that we got in the pack are very pastel-y, very nice, happy colors, and I just didn't feel like it suited that much. So I mean, I guess it's nice that we have stained glass windows, but honestly, they're not that good. So yeah. Anyway, that's me just having a little bit of a complaint about this pack. I'm sure by this point you would have seen a lot of gameplay reviews of the new pack. Like I just said, I cannot justify recommending this pack. I'm just a very, very impatient person. Please don't be like me. Do not buy this pack because you will not get your money's worth out of it unless, you want to buy this pack solely for the world. I can understand that. I mean, been there, done that. So about this build, I was very inspired by the world of Tortosa, which is kind of based on this Mediterranean area. Apologies, and I would say it's Italian. They don't specifically say that it's Italian, but to me, it is definitely. I'm definitely getting Italian vibes from the world of Tortosa. So I wanted to make an Italian holiday spot. So I was debating actually do another wedding venue, but I already did a wedding venue on my channel previously, which was also kind of in a similar style actually, but I built it without the wedding pack, and I built it actually on the beach of Windenburg. So yeah, I would say that this building is definitely in a similar style, but I wanted to build it in Tortosa. I was just very inspired, to do a build like this. So as you can see, the exterior is coming along pretty quickly. I put in a lot of vines on the exterior, and actually I cut out a whole heap of footage there because to be honest, my too much gene really kicked in when I wanted to place all the vines on this build. So literally the whole build was covered in vines at some point. And although in real life, I think it can definitely look really, really nice to have a lot of vines and have a build be very, very overgrown. In The Sims, because it's all very cartoony, it can look a little bit tacky. It doesn't look very realistic. So I deleted basically all of the vines, and I only have, some vines left on the patio, which, by the way, I love how the patio turned out. I really love that pool that is in this enclosed area. And yeah, I just felt really inspired by the villas that you find in Italy, specifically in the region of Tuscany, where it's all just kind of a rustic looking. So here you see me building a little bit of I don't know how you would call this. I just called it a shed, but it's like a little area with a roof over it where, with a fireplace where your Sims can light a fire, and there's like a little conversation area where I would imagine if you go on a holiday with maybe a group of friends or maybe just your loved ones or your family, and you can just sit there until like 2 a.m. in the morning just talking about everything and nothing at the same time. I thought it was such a nice area. So yeah, and now we're working on the interior of this build, which I really tried to stick to that kind of rustic vibe. So I used a lot of cottage living in here. So like I just said, I wasn't too impressed with the Build and Buy catalog of my wedding stories. So I just wanted to make you aware that I do use some My Wedding Stories stuff, but I would say that the only things that I use are some of the trees that are actually not even, in the Build By catalog. They are in the Debug catalog. And some decorations. I think I used like a flower arrangement and some of the lanterns. But other than that, I don't really use any My Wedding Stories stuff in this build. So you can definitely download this this lot if you don't have that pack installed, and it should work just fine. I think I built it on a 20 by 30 lot, so you could perhaps just place it on a lot. I would suggest maybe using the island in Windenburg. I think this can look very nice there as well. So yeah, just I wanted to make you aware that, I did build this a lot in the new world, and I built it for the new world, but I barely used any items of the new pack. So you can easily, download this if you don't have the new pack and use it in another place. It doesn't matter. So if you're interested in downloading this lot, actually, my origin ID is BriaSimsYT, so you should be able to find it there, and you can just yeah, you can just download this lot and play with it and do as you please. So yeah, right now I'm working on the lounge area. I just wanted to quickly clarify that this is a rental lot, and whenever I am building a rental lot, I don't tend to clutter up my builds too much, because I feel like that's not super realistic. If you're going to rent like a villa or something somewhere, you know, you won't find a whole lot of clutter around the house. Whereas if it is a house that a family actually lives, obviously there would be a lot more stuff around. So that's why the furnishing can be a bit more, I would say it's a bit more minimalistic to what I would usually do in my houses. But I think you know, it still looks very nice and cozy, which is the look that I wanted to achieve. And by the way, I really like this little area that I'm working on right now. It's kind of a indoor-outdoor dining area where I would imagine that your Sims would have friends over and, you know, host like a nice dinner. And I was really going with this Italian vibe, so I was just picturing a group of friends having their pasta or their pizza here and having just a fun evening, staying up to like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning and just talking and laughing about everything in life. And, you know, that was really the look that I wanted to achieve for this build. So this build actually has 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms, and one of the bedrooms has a double bed and the other bedroom has 2 single beds. So initially you'll see me putting in 2 bedrooms, both with a double bed, but I quickly replace one of the double beds for 2 single beds, because I feel like that would just be a lot more useful if you wanted to use this lot as a vacation lot where you would bring your family, and if you have 2 children, they can just stay in the 1 bedroom and they each have their own bed, which I thought would be a bit more useful. But obviously you can easily switch it out. So if you do decide to download this lot, you know, feel free to do with it as you please. You can change it up. If you don't want to use it as a rental lot, you could easily use it as a lot where your Sims would just, you know, live their everyday life, living their best life in Tortosa. So yeah, you can do with it whatever you want. And if you decide to download this lot to renovate it, I would also love to see it. So please make sure that you you know, send me a message or a comment. Let me know that you did renovate this lot. Drop your origin ID and I will look for your details on the gallery, because I would love to see if you do anything with any of my lots, by the way. So yeah, so here you see me working on that bedroom that I just talked about. Right now there's a double bed, which I will be switching out for 2 single beds. So this would be a perfect spot to vacation with your family. Each of the bedrooms actually have their own balcony as well, which I thought was this very nice touch. So if you want to put a double bed here as well, you can just kind of have like a double date, or if your Sims are friends with another couple, they can go on a vacation here together. And I think it would be super fun because, you know, they can have a lot of fun together, but they also have privacy because they each have their own balcony. So yeah, actually we are now near the end already of the speed build, I would say. I'm just putting in a couple of the finishing touches. I think lastly I will be putting in some lanterns and yeah, just some furniture on the balcony here, so your Sims can actually sit wherever they want. Yeah, all right, so here I'm putting in some beams, some exposed beams in the living room, which I really love that trick, especially in my cottage type buildings, because it really adds that rustic touch to a build. Yeah, it just makes it look a lot more cozy. So here I'm putting in the lanterns, Leslie, and now we're already in the screenshots, guys. So yeah, by the way, I had to take the screenshots in build mode instead of live mode, because for some reason when I went into live mode, the roof from the little tower that I built disappeared and I could not take nice screenshots of it. So yeah, I had to take screenshots in build mode. Yeah, the inside of the building, the pictures that I took are all in live mode, by the way. So yeah, it's the living room and the kitchen, and yeah, I'm really happy with how this build turned out, actually, guys. But I really hope that you enjoyed this build as well. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by leaving a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.